Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today we go green, behind the scenes at Riviera Creek, a cannabis grow site in Youngstown. And we visit G-Leaf, a medical and recreational dispensary in Warren. But first, winter fun, dashing through the snow. It is the perfect time of year to get off the couch, get your kids away from the video games, and take advantage of the snow. This is Sunny, and this is Nico, and these are my buddies, and we're going to do some sled riding today here at Rocky Ridge, also known as the Wick Recreation Area. And you know what, guys? I used to come and sled ride here when I was a little kid, when I was like your age. That was like about 10 years ago. And have you guys been here before?
Yeah.
These are some sweet hills, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they go really fast. This has been a really good winter so far from some snow activity. And it looks like we're gonna have this snow about 2 or 3 more weeks, so we can come here and do this a lot. Now, what is your preferred method for going down? Because you've got like the little mini motorcycle. Nico, you've got like the one on fire. You've got the sled. Which one do you guys like the best?
That one, the big one.
The big blue.
Yeah.
We'll call that big blue because we're gonna race, and I'm gonna win. Okay,
No, that's the one I'm going on.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna have to work this out. I'm going on this one. You guys think I'll break it?
No. You're gonna fall.
So there's a lot of kids here. They've got the nice rope to help you walk back up, and really they got the lights on. It's going till 9 o'clock, so we're gonna have some fun and do some sled riding tonight.
I'm definitely.
I think mine's pretty fast. Now, when you go down, when we're racing, are we belly or are we gonna sit?
Sit. Sit. I'm going to sit.
You're gonna sit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are we ready? Okay, I'm going in mine. You might want to borrow this for the next one. This is heat number 1. Now, we do have to practice courtesy because there's people coming up. It's like bowling. You gotta wait until the lane is cleared. Right? Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, okay.
I really want one of those sleds.
Are we ready? On your mark. Oh, I can't crawl. Okay, you ready? On your mark.
What?
Are you ready? Get set. And go. Ah!
My sled broke.
No. You broke the sled?
And I think I broke my hand.
Are you kidding?
No, my hand's fine. I landed on it though, but my sled snapped.
Go!
Whoa!
Oh!
Ah!
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
I'm taking Sunny's.
All right. Well, mine went pretty good.
Who do you think won this match?
Well, Sunny won. You sit with your feet on the runners. Yeah. Okay. This thing looks like it's really fast.
Whenever I go down, I don't like to hold it. So, no, I still have to hold it. I just tie it around like that so I barely have to hold it.
Clever. All right. This thing's pretty fast.
All right, I need to back
you
up
going?
a little. Huh?
All right, son.
You ready?
I'm ready. That thing's pretty cool. This is experimental photography. God, Gino, don't get hurt, buddy. And a 1, and a 2,
1, go.
and a 3.
Ow!
All right, you're in charge, Nico. Come on, bub. 1, 2, 3, go!
1, 2.
And 3, go! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, Sonny! That thing's pretty cool. Oh, wow, that was hot. Okay, all right. Well, this is an awesome place to sled ride. And as long as there's snow on the ground, it is open from daylight until 9 p.m. They've got lights. And the Coy Road boys, you guys, we did a good job. Look at the snow. We brought the snow out. It is going to be an excellent winter. So come on out. Let's go, Bob. Here we go. Okay. Okay, Nico's gonna follow us. Are we ready? Okay, and on your mark, put your hands down. Get set, go! Oh, wow, that was hot. We really had a great time sled riding. Remember, there's no bad weather, just bad gear. So bundle up and enjoy the ride.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
This is Senior Solutions, brought to you by the Reese family, the owners of Briarfield Healthcare Centers. This new series will explain care programs available to your family. Right now, we're at Briarfield Place in Boardman. Well, Briarfield Place has a great location. You're right across from St. E's Boardman.
Yes.
But what happens if I have to follow up with the surgeon who did my surgery?
Once you are admitted to the facility, we have already received the information about your follow-up appointments and the specialist who saw you at the hospital. The medical director is following your overall care while you're here, but your follow-up appointments with the specialist who saw you at the hospital are important, so we will coordinate those for your continuum of care by providing transportation to get you to those appointments.
Briarfield knows you have lots of questions, and they have the answers. With Senior Solutions, you'll have a clear understanding of Briarfield's care programs.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard. For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Rigetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
At Window World, family is the heart of our business.
And we're committed to giving you the family treatment too.
From your free estimate to installation and long after, whether replacing windows, entry doors, or the siding you've dreamed of.
We promise to treat your home like it's our own.
It's what we've stood behind for all these years, and for years to come, we'll continue to say,
Not only do we stand behind our windows,
we stand on them.
Given is living.
You won't go home hungry from Carmela's. Come see us for family-inspired Italian favorites. We're open 6 days a week for lunch and dinner. Carmela's Cafe Italian Eatery, just like Grandma used to make, on Western Reserve Road in Boardman.
Hi, I'm Robbie Fellman.
And I'm John Stanko from Boardman Subaru.
Introducing the all-new 2026 Subaru Outback.
Completely redesigned with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, a 260 horsepower turbocharged engine, and legendary Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive.
All from the #1 brand in consumer satisfaction and safety.
Come test drive the all-new Subaru Outback today.
Only at Boardman Subaru, just south of Route 224 on South Avenue.
In November of 2023, Ohio voters approved legalizing cannabis for recreational use. I paid a visit to G Leaf. It's a dispensary in Warren. I wanted to see the sale process and the offerings available for adults interested in recreational marijuana. So when you first enter, it's sealed off. You can't just go right into the facility. And you can have your choice of the medical window or the adult use, recreational, and that is what I will do. And I'm going to hand you my ID.
Thank you. Did you know what you were looking for today?
You know, I do not. This is my first time ever visiting a dispensary, and I'm really not sure what I would like. Is there anybody that could help me and guide me through the menu?
Yeah, so I'm going to build you a profile, and then I can set up a consultation for you to see somebody.
Okay, great. I would like a consultation. That would be great.
There you are. I'm just going to send you back in the waiting room, and somebody will be with you shortly.
All right, thank you. Well, this is Carrie Stan, and she is a regional manager. That's right, for the cannabis company. And she is going to help me with this whole process, go through the different offerings, and just answer some questions about how this whole operation works here in Ohio.
We don't want it overwhelming.
We don't want to overwhelm people. So questions, right? What would I be interested in? Maybe something like a sleep aid to help me with sleep, relaxation at the end of the night, because I've been having a lot of trouble sleeping.
Girl, same.
You know,
so are you looking for more of something that's an edible? Do you want something that you can vape?
I think I would prefer an edible.
So that's going to fall under your edibles. And then we're looking for something for nighttime, right?
Right.
So what we're going to look at is an indica. So let's look at our indica edibles here.
So indica, there's indica and sativa. So indica is more of the relaxation.
Yep. Yes.
All right.
Indica is more of your nighttime. Sativa is more of your daytime.
Okay.
Yep. So this brand here specifically is a microdose brand. So every single one of these gummies in it is going to be 5 milligrams, so that you can even take that in half and go 2.5 milligrams to start.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So that would be, yeah, exactly what I would need.
Yep. So what we'll do is we're going to add this to your bag. And then what we'll do here is we'll confirm your pickup. So they're going to start working on that right now. They're filling it right as we speak.
Okay, so this really isn't a place where then you can go in and just shop.
So this is not an open shop concept state. So like in California or Colorado, where you can actually see all of the product around you, Ohio doesn't do that. Ohio doesn't have an open concept shop plan.
So your recommendation would be go online, really on your site, and look through all the offerings that you have. So how much was in my sleep gummies?
So that was equivalent to a 1-day allotment, and recreational customers are allowed to purchase up to 10 days a day, which is equivalent to an ounce.
Okay, so I could get 10 of those today, and that would equal an ounce?
Yep.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so other than gummies, I could get other edibles like a cookie, chocolate. And then, what do you think the most popular products are? Is
flour.
It is flour.
Hands down,
they
flour.
still want the old-fashioned
everybody
weed,
wants
right?
the old-fashioned grass.
And so, does it come in an ounce? All flour.
Bag, all flour.
Wow. Okay, and like a lid. No.
Most of them come in bags. Most of them are in bags. Sealable bags, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of all the terms, you know, growing up, you know, for all the different things and the difference of it. And then how about vapes?
I would say vapes are probably the second most popular category. Probably leading the way is disposable vapes. So that's usually like a all-in-one unit. It's got the oil and the battery. It's all connected. You can't take it apart, and you just use it and throw it away.
And not just anybody walks in the street and could work here.
No.
If I wanted a job here being a bud tender,
we would totally
what is the process?
So you do have to be at least 21 to work in the state. You have to go through a federal, so an FBI level background check, and a state, which is a BCI level background check. So you have to go get your fingerprints submitted. Both of those checks get run. You have to fill out some documentation for the state of Ohio, submit all of that. They want to know things such as, you know, your residential history. They want to know which facility you're being hired to work at. You can't just apply to work in the state unless you have a job offer at a location.
And then you take it another step further, because then you have to train your employees.
We do. So the state does have training requirements for new hires. All educational material for our bud tenders does have to be submitted to the state of Ohio and approved by the state of Ohio before we can use it as training. We provide about 40 hours of education for all new hires.
Hi, can I see your ID?
Yes. You don't believe I'm not 21?
I said, I just got to check it.
You seem very knowledgeable. You're pretty knowledgeable with all your products, aren't you?
I try to be. If I'm not, somebody else here is, and I will definitely ask. All right. And there you go.
All right,
You're all
thank
set.
you. Excellent. Well, you know, starting with Ohio Medical, you know, how has this transition been opening up for adults?
Surprisingly smooth. The state did a really good job of setting some groundwork several months in advance. I think there was some frustration at a customer level of the timeline, but from an industry perspective, it was nice to have time to prepare. And then the rollout itself, because they had taken the time to really prepare and have all of their ducks in a row, the rollout itself, we rolled out in 3 days and very minimal hiccups, which is unheard of in this industry.
This is really a smooth operation. It's really professional. And I really think that the people that have been coming through, you're right, they're so diverse and so many different ages. And you really do have a lot of good information, and you're really helping the customer understand and get the product that's most right for them.
Absolutely. I think as an industry and as an employee within the industry, we have a duty to be stewards of information. And I think that's what makes the cannabis industry as a whole so mysterious.
Right.
I don't think there's been historically a lot of great access to that information. And so I think it's our job to educate. It's our job to be good neighbors, not just to the customers who are walking through the door, but to our communities, right? Like, let's educate the communities in which we operate. Let's support the communities in which we operate. We invest all of this energy into our team that supports us, internally with our employees. How do we share that knowledge with customers that walk in for the first time? How do we make it less intimidating? How do we make it less scary? When alcohol prohibition ended, right? People walking through the door for the first time, had no idea what to expect. They had no idea. And I think, again, we're in a similar-ish situation where there's just so many people that have zero knowledge or understanding of, not just what the regulations are, what the products are, but the impacts that it can have, both, from a financial standpoint, within your community, but also personally, right? Like, what can this product do for me? So I think, again, we have a duty to be good stewards of information, and that's what we're trying to do.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
Welcome to Kamara Jewelers, a third-generation, family-owned business run by my brother, Rob, and I. We share a passion for beautiful jewelry and strive to help everyone find the perfect piece. From life celebrations to everyday moments, we've been honored to be a part of your story. Our collection ranges from unique natural diamonds to affordable styles, offering something for everyone. Come visit us anytime at Kamara Jewelers, where every piece tells a story.
Get real, get Kamara.
Locally sourced is good, whether it's ingredients or a bank, and that's why my bank is Farmers National Bank. Since 1887, Farmers has remained rock solid through every economic condition. Having a bank with a history of safety, soundness, and conservative management is a must. It all boils down to this. You need a bank that will help you reach your goals. I do too, and Farmers is mine. Farmers National Bank, rock solid.
GABA Camp is open year-round for adults with disabilities and their families. GABA Camp is compliant with the ADA for accessibility. A paved wheelchair path provides scenic and recreational opportunities for everyone. We still have much more to offer. GABA Camp is a 501c3 for the betterment of people with intellectual, physical, and developmental disabilities from all walks of life. Donate now. Your help is needed. Giving is living. Living.
You won't go home hungry from Carmela's. Come see us for family-inspired Italian favorites. We're open 6 days a week for lunch and dinner. Carmela's Cafe Italian Eatery, just like Grandma used to make, on Western Reserve Road in Boardman.
Well, I have been looking forward to meeting Dan Kessler. He is the CEO here at Riviera Creek, and this is a place where you cultivate the marijuana products.
Correct.
And I am so excited to get a tour of this place.
Yep.
But you have been on the ground floor in Ohio.
We've been running since the beginning of the medical program, and now that it's just become adult use, we've, right from the start, we were one of the first, if not the first, to be approved for that program.
So now that we've gone from the medical sales to adult rec, how much more has your business flourished?
Because we're still in an area of the market where we're still using the medical rules, even though we're able to sell to adults 21 and over. So I think as the updated rules are finalized by the state, by the regulators, and we're allowed to sell all the full adult use products, I think at that point you're going to see the market grow even larger. But we have definitely seen growth.
How many cultivators are in the state of Ohio?
So there are about 37 cultivators, 42 processors, and 128 dispensaries. We can only sell within the state. So whatever all these cultivators are growing and producing, we're selling to only the in-state dispensaries because you can't cross over. So if there's too much in one or not enough in the other, you can't do anything about it. It is what it is. Each state is its own mini industry. Having said that, I would argue that product is much, much better here in Ohio because A, it is a newer market, so we've had to come up with all these new innovative products, but also because our testing thresholds are so much tighter,
yes,
the quality of the product and the safety and reliability is much, much greater.
And you're not hydroponic, and you're not aquaponic.
Correct.
You are aeroponic.
That's right, aeroponic.
So, I mean, how many facilities in the nation have this?
There's probably like 4 or 5 in the entire country.
We're
very
so
unique.
Innovative, you know?
It's a really cool process, really cool concept. Our plants sit on a table, and underneath the plant is a root, and those roots are just hanging in air. So that's the aeroponic.
Okay.
And they're getting sprayed directly with the nutrients and water mixture, and that's how they're growing. So it almost acts like an IV. So it's a very, very precise and consistent process, which makes for a consistent product. It starts as a cutting, or we call it a clone.
And so how big would that be? Like,
once the clone grows roots, then it can start its process of actually growing new growth. As the new growth happens and it gets up to just below 12 inches, then we move it into our grow rooms.
And how long until it reaches?
It's approximately 9 weeks of a cycle.
9 weeks?
Until we full maturity and we're ready to harvest it.
But you don't just grow, because you also produce items.
That's correct. So the flower, once it's harvested, and it's called post-harvest process, which is ultimately getting it into a flower form that can be sold, that's a product. However, we also take the flower product and process it and turn it into other things like concentrates. So rosin is one product. We also turn it into a riv stick, which is a pre-ground flour that people can buy, and they buy it in smaller increments of 1 gram, which is really cool. In the early next year, we'll be starting a line of gummies. We'll make a solventless gummy that has no bitter aftertaste like cannabis. It will just have the gummy flavor, and that's it. And it'll have all the same infusion that other gummies have without that bitter taste, and that's gonna be a really unique, cool product. I'm really excited to launch that.
It seems that, you know, now that Ohio is legalized, you know, at first medical and now adult, do you think there's less of a stigma? I mean, when you tell people what you do for a living, they're not looking at you
8
like
years
a
ago,
drug dealer or
right,
something like that.
8 years ago, I definitely used to get,
What do you do?
Yeah, now I think society has also evolved. There are now over 30 states that have some form of legal or deregulated cannabis. I definitely think that stigma is starting to wear off.
I mean, there's a lot of ailments that it really does help.
Oh, for sure.
You know, the glaucoma, you always
Yes.
heard about that.
Yep.
And you know, cancer patients like it because it really helps with appetite and things
100%.
like that.
From our medical side, like I said, we've been a medical producer for years. We get correspondence from patients on a regular basis. You have changed my life. I'm no longer using opioids.
Right.
I use it for pain management. It's terrific.
And now, in Ohio, you are allowed to grow your own.
Correct.
Like up to 6 plants,
Yep.
and then, you know, at 12 a household.
Right, if there's 2
Is
adults.
that hurting you?
No,
The
in fact,
homegrown, you know, the home growers?
Correct, the home growers. So, no, in fact, I encourage it. It's very similar to someone doing like a microbrew or craft brew in their house if they want to do that.
Yeah.
It's kind of an interesting and fun hobby. At the end of the day, it's a lot of work, and you know, it starts to smell and things like that. So I think people might want to try it once or twice. I don't know how long term they might want to do, but it's a fun hobby, like any type of gardening. We're selling a mass use consumer product versus a home grow is a little bit, it's more niche, call it that.
Yeah, niche. How often are you inspected? Do you have a lot of state regulatory
Absolutely.
people coming in?
All the time. So there's cameras in and around our facility that are monitored by the state 24/7, both outside and inside, in all the rooms.
Because Ohio is still on a learning curve.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
You know.
But then we get regulators, all of our inspectors, we get at least quarterly audits, but there's also times where they'll show up unannounced and just, you know, on top of the quarterlies. So we get on a very regular basis, we're inspected, but they also check in on our camera systems very regularly as well.
Like convenience stores and at drive-thrus, there are cannabinoid products and stuff like that in there, like the Delta, or is that in your industry too?
So yes and no. Those products that you can find at vape shops and gas stations and everything like that, they do get you high. So people get confused.
I thought it was just CBD or something.
Well, it's supposed to be. But what happened is once the federal government allowed hemp to be legal and cross state lines, what the hemp companies started doing is they started synthesizing the CBD into basically intoxicating substance. And so now you can go to all these places with zero regulation, with zero testing. You don't know what's in it. You don't know the dosage.
Who's making them?
Who's making it? And more than likely, it's really being made in someone's basement or garage and then being sold and marketed as though it's a real product because they buy some packaging over the internet. The reality is the only way to really get to know what you're getting is by going to a state-regulated, licensed store. I encourage your viewers, I encourage society to A, not shop at those stores, but B, write to your local representative. These are your state representatives, not necessarily your US, and say these things are a nuisance in my community and it's not good. Most of our names of our strains are all based on Youngstown lore. There are a lot of Idora Park rides we've used.
Oh, the Wildcat. You got a Wildcat?
Wildcat,
Really?
Lost River.
Oh, wow.
Pink Elephant was a local bar.
I remember the Pink Elephant, yes.
Yep.
Oh my God.
So we really try. I mean, we are a Youngstown-based
funny.
company. We really love our Youngstown roots. At the end of the day, we're a brand, and we're a brand that sells consistent, quality medicine, and now, you know, not just medicine, but products to consumers. And it's important that that name stands out, and that's exactly what we're all about.
For more information regarding any content from our show, please visit our website, CaseyMaloneShow.com. Your comments and ideas are appreciated. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.